So I just filmed this video and didn't press record, so take two. This video is going to show two ideas for the handstand push-up concentric and how we can isolate that part of the movement. The reason why is because to get from doing partial range of motion and wall-facing handstand push-ups and the isometrics, we need to break through that sticky point and that plateau of actually getting the head to the floor or below it. Now, to do that, we could plug away at the partials, which would probably work in time, or we can look at something a bit more interesting, and it's these two methods. The one I'll show first will be slightly more difficult to begin with, but way more applicable in the long run. The second one will be a bit more dynamic, but will probably give you the most reward if you can coordinate your body well. So I'll show you both and we can talk that through later. First one, we're going to do headstand push-up for concentric only. You start hands slightly outside shoulder width apart. You're screwing down to the base of the palm, keeping the scapula engaged as always, resisting the force. Head's lightly on the floor. We come to the position, create tension. Right. Again. Create tension. Into our position. Right. Now obviously to begin with that's going to be incredibly difficult, especially if you're working with about this much range of motion assistance. So what we're going to do is try to break that assistance down by using a couple of books. Exactly the same drill. What we're doing now is just changing where you're pushing from, obviously, the range of motion, and hopefully breaking through that sticking point. So the sticky point varies person by person, but it's somewhere around this height towards the floor. Some people might be on the floor. I find that the floor is the hardest point for me. Some people find it more difficult about this height, but hopefully somewhere between those two gaps we can work to then help you break through that. This is exactly the same drill, but we start from a different position. So, same form cues, same details, as much concentric force without compensation as possible. Set the scapula, screw the hands into the floor, keep tension, push. And again, screw, scapula, push. So like I said before, the next drill, slightly more easy in one sense, slightly more difficult in another sense. It's easier because you have momentum. It's more difficult also because you have momentum. Why? Momentum means that you'll probably lose your perfect position or your perfect form, which isn't such a bad thing, but to begin with it probably is. So when you're doing this one, really try and focus on as much hollow and scapular positioning as possible without sacrificing the focus for the end goal. What I mean by that is we want to create concentric force, that's our focus, not just get to the handstand any way possible, okay? So it has to be applicable to our end goal. So what we're going to do, some people call this gatherings, other people call it headstand press, call it what you want. Same form cues as before, screwing, tripod, but this time you'll keep your feet on the floor. So we're here. I now allow my legs to come off the floor and use them to push up. So that coordination really helps with the patterning here, with the breaking of inertia, sorry. To make this drill a little bit harder and a little bit towards what we're focusing on, which is that concentric force, we can actually adapt it. So rather than starting already on the head, we can begin in what we'll call the handstand push-up isometric, which is the head's just above the floor, you're creating tension, the legs then help you kick up, but the momentum will make it harder and easier depending on which focal point you're looking at. So for this one, we start with the legs straight. Forward over, create tension, push. So, a lot harder, probably the hardest variation here, but incredibly interesting, incredibly useful to some people. Whichever drill you're working on, please make sure you're looking at the details. Scapula, resist the force. Body, no compensation. We prefer the process over the end goal.